So I have my stream partially set up, and like as eager of a beaver as I am to start doing stuff, I'm just gonna take it slow. But yeah, this is gonna end up staying online. So hopefully all of like my titles are correct. Let me see. Give me a second. And I mean, okay, yeah. Cool. Cool. Yay, I hope it's working. I hope it's twerking. Okay, I'll mute myself so I can see the comments. And let me see. Over here. Okay. Wow, the stream is so clear on Twitch. Like, that's so crazy. Alright, so I have a bowl of pozole with me. And my brother in Christ made it for me. Also, I live with my grandmother, so the background, yeah, I'm working on it. I put up this really cute mural. I hope y'all like it. But, I'm working on cleaning the office. Literally, if this camera were to move just slightly, y'all would just see it's just a mess in here. This is not really like an ideal eating situation. Like, I can't really eat. But I'm really hungry, and my brother in Christ has been concerned for me because I low-key don't be eating. And it's partially out of laziness, partially just because I like fasting. I like fasting for God and stuff. So I feel like I've just been fasting and not replenishing my body enough. So, but anyway, oh my goodness, this is so good. Oh my goodness. Whoa, what the heck? I low-key don't be eating meals. Low-key, I really be having just a cucumber and some milk. Like, I gotta watch what I say. Because God has been putting in my heart to really think about and meditate on every single thing that I say, so that it's like only of God, But anyways, let's talk about the Bible, because there's some crazy revelations I've been having. And mind you, I'm doing this more as like a testing stream, because this is my first time streaming with this, like, all this stuff. Like, look at this. I think that worked. Wait. Like, why am I living for that? Like, that's so cheeky. And then I have like little sound effects and stuff. Like, that's cute. I don't really know how good that picks up, because it's pretty low on the settings. But anyways, so it was so funny because I was talking to my coworker today, and I was like reading my Bible at work, right? And I was like, bro, like, this Bible book goes so insane. He was like, Adani, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, I'm reading it and it's so good. I was like, I get what the hype's all about. And he was like, wait, you never like actually read the Bible? I was like, no. Because he knows I'm super duper religious, because I just be acting a fool at my work, y'all. Like, I just be talking about Jesus and God and stuff all the time at my work. I don't like how this shadow the shadow's coming from here. Oh, sorry. So I just be talking about Jesus and God all the time at work. And he's like, He's like, wait, you've never read the Bible? I was like, no. And he's like, did you like grow up in church? I was like, not really. Like my family, like my parents are like lukewarm Christians. Like we didn't really go to church, and I never really actually read the Bible before. I was like, he was like, what? I was like, yes, I literally just read about Daniel a couple like months ago. And I was like, how is Daniel gonna make it out the den? Like, this just seems so impossible. Oh my goodness. And then he made it out, and I was just like, well, I will be darned. Daniel made it out again because he has God on his side. So it was so funny because he kind of expected me to have had read the Bible my whole life and studied the Bible my whole life just because like of how on fire for Jesus I am. And I was like, no, I was saved by Christ literally like 6 months ago, dude. Like I was like, I'm a new believer, bro. So yeah, it was so funny. So anyway, so I was reading Genesis. No! Huh? Hold on. See, and that's why we do tests. I don't know why it does that. So anyways, I was reading the Bible today, right? And I was just like, and I was reading about Canaan. Okay, look, hold on, let me open up this Bible really fast, you guys, because I was shook. So Noah, he goes through the flood, all that stuff. It's all insane, and you're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe Noah is alive, right? So when Noah like gets off the boat, he has, I think, 3 sons, right? Hold on, wait. He has 3 sons, and it's like Canaan something. Hold on, let me get to this page. Give me a second. Okay. God makes his covenant with creation, uses the rainbow. Yep. Okay. So Noah and his sons. Look, okay, this was so crazy. Okay. So the 3 sons of Noah were Shem, Ham, and Japheth, right? And Ham was the father of Canaan. So Canaan was like one of the sons of one of Noah's sons, right? So Noah began to be a farmer, and he planted a vineyard, and then he drank wine and was drunk and became uncovered in his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his 2 brothers outside. Pause. But, okay, wait, pin that, okay? So, but then Shem and Japheth, they took a garment, laid it on both their shoulders, and went backwards and covered up the nakedness of their father. So what had happened was, so one of the sons came in and saw Noah, like, and all his, like, butt nakedness, right? But he didn't cover up his father. So Noah was drunk, and so basically, like, I was so confused as to, like, why this was significant, because then Noah says, cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants, he shall be to his brethren, right? And I was like, how come Canaan is cursed just because, like, how is it that Canaan is cursed just because he, like, walked in on his dad naked, because, like, his dad was just drunk and, like, his, like, butt was out or something, you know? I was just so confused. So then I meditated on it, and I was like, there has to be something that happened that was just, like, so sick that made Noah so upset, right? I feel the Holy Ghost. So look, what Canaan did, Canaan raped Noah. So Noah was like drunk. So Noah was like all like exposed, ready to be taken advantage of and all that kinds of stuff. And so that's what happened in that room, y'all, is that Noah was taken advantage of by Ham. So Ham is the father of Canaan. Now pause. So before the flood happened, you know, it was the days of Noah. Everybody was sick and demented and crazy, right? So Noah's sons were like fully grown and in this depraved world before the flood. So the flood didn't just happen just because God was angry. No. The flood happened because humans fell so much from grace that it was interfering with the prophecy of Jesus. So in the days of Noah, human blood was like blended with Nephilim blood, with like demon blood. So in the days of Noah, a lot of these people, they weren't even human. So the reason why, you know, God doesn't just do stuff because he's like, oh, I'm angry, I'm gonna do this, blah, 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 blah. No, like God has a reason for everything. And so God needed to cleanse the bloodlines and just like, because look, Jesus had to be so pure, like his blood had to be so pure and so perfect that it atoned for everyone's sin. So if you just imagine how many generations between Adam and Eve to Jesus, like that is a lot of different bloodlines from all kinds of different places. And God had such a grand plan. Like Jesus had to be from a very particular bloodline in order for that blood to be perfect enough to atone for all the sins. So fast forward back to, you know, Ham raping his dad. I'm sorry, the Bible is so crazy. So Ham raped his dad, right? Ham was there during the days of Noah, where depravity was running rampant. So even though God like attempted to cleanse the bloodlines fully of this like depravity in humanity, Ham was still like a little bit twisted. Like he was still a little bit like not right in the head because he was there during the days of Noah. So yeah, he was just like a little bit of a sicko. And just as a reminder, like in the days of Noah, they were like just like pedophilia, depravity, incest, crime, rape, like all of that stuff was just rampant. So Ham was there during those days. So when Ham was on the boat and stuff, yeah, he was just kind of a hot mess, right? So when Noah found out what had happened to him while he was drunk and passed out, he was like, bro, I can't believe my son raped me, bro. You know? Like there's something wrong with you. And not like there's honestly like he was demonized. But there's something wrong with that bloodline because like it's like something in the blood, like there's just something like something is off from you, like something is off about Canaan, and he just is like a little like you just fell from grace, like something's up with you, right? You've lost your humanity. So that's why in Genesis 9 he says Noah says, cursed be Canaan, and a servant of servants he shall be to his brethren. So all of Canaan's bloodline was all cursed. And you'll see literally all throughout Genesis, who is it causing all of the hot messery? It's the Canaanites. Every single time it's the Canaanites. Like if you go like so in Genesis it talks about everybody's families and stuff all the time, and like everyone's lineage. Pay very close attention to that, because if you trace it back sorry, I'm choking my pozole. if you trace it back to the very like beginning, right? It's always like, oh my goodness, it's always the Canaanites causing a ruckus, y'all. Like, okay, fast forward. So let me show y'all an example. Okay. Oh no, wait. Oh, this isn't the Bible with my notes. Like Babylon, a lot of the people in Babylon, they were descendants of Canaan. Like it's always there's just a reason for everything that God does. And yes, like bloodlines can be cursed. That's why, like, I would know my bloodline was cursed once upon a time. Literally just like 6 months ago. Not 6 months, 6 weeks ago. My bloodline was like so cursed. So anyways, so all of it is just so spiritual. Like, I don't know, y'all, it's really crazy out here. It's really crazy out in these spiritual streets. I'm upset I don't have my notes, because I had like the notes about, so like in Genesis 10 it talks about the nations descended from Noah, and then it goes to the Tower of Babel. And oh my goodness, they were found in the land of Shinar. And I know just before, you want to know what, we might need to, we're going to revisit this. Yeah, we're going to revisit this. But, and the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon as far as Gaza. So it's not Babel that was the Canaanites. It was Sodom. Oh, look at this, you guys. Okay. So Genesis 10:18. So it says, afterward, the family of the Canaanites were dispersed. And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon as you go towards Gerar as far as Gaza. Then as you go towards Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and Zeboim as far as Lasha. So Sodom and Gomorrah, we all know what happened with Sodom and Gomorrah, right? They just lost their damn minds. And God was like, there's not even a single good person in here. Except for Lot. Except for Lot. But it's the Canaanites that were in Sodom and Gomorrah. So this is an intergenerational curse on the Canaanites. That their bloodline, like something about the curse just attracts like a certain kind of like demonization that drives these people to depravity. It's really, really crazy. And each time like God tries to like wash this away from like the human bloodline, I've just noticed that people just slip through the cracks, and I think it's because, God is merciful and he just hopes that everyone, comes to him and stuff. But like, for example, when God washed away humanity in the days of Noah, it was to get rid of like the sickos, right? But there was a sicko that made it, and that was Ham. Like Ham was he made it onto the boat. And so even in Lot's case, so when Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed by God, right? When it was destroyed by God, Lot was the only good one. And God was just so merciful that he let Lot take his wife and, a couple, like his wife, his daughters, his daughter's husbands, and all that kinds of stuff, right? And so God was so merciful. Lot was the only one that deserved to make it out of Sodom and Gomorrah. But because God is just so merciful, God allowed Lot to take some other people. And so, like, God's mercy is so great that even when God knows that he should, like, just completely wipe out a bloodline, he doesn't always do that, because he just always hopes that, people just turn towards him, So it's really crazy. Oh my goodness. I just swallowed a whole garbanzo bean without even chewing it. Oh no. It's like lodged in my throat. Okay. So that's so crazy, right? How I was just like, sorry. So Lot made it out of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? And then the only people that made it out was Lot and his 2 daughters. So his 2 daughters, they were like, "Oh no, we need to save our bloodline." And so they basically raped their father. They gave Lot like a lot of alcohol and stuff. And then while he was like asleep, they raped him. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. I hope I'm still streaming. Okay. See, this is why I need to this is why I need to be doing like practice runs. And like it's late and like I'm in my pajamas and like, you know, I don't really look cute or whatever, but you know, practice makes perfect. So this is very important to me. Anyways, so it says 1 watching now, but I think that 1 watching is me. Anyways, so I have food in my teeth. So I was shook, y'all. I was so shook. So Lot was raped by his 2 daughters because they were like, "Oh no, we're not gonna have a way to continue our bloodlines." So they drugged and raped their dad. Lot, you should have left alone. I know, I get it, Lot. I get it. You loved your family. But they might have been a lost cause, dude. No, I'm kidding. That's very sad and like really it's just nasty. So then, but look, this is the cool thing. Is that Lot was a descendant of the Canaanites. But he got favor before the Lord. So you know, having a cursed bloodline, it doesn't always mean that you're going to end up just like how everyone else in your bloodline ended up. But it does mean that you like really need to walk with God, because you know you have curses that will, and those kinds of things, you know, you just need God to break those things off of you. Anyways, so it also was like very crazy, because then later on in Genesis, they're like, you know, because Jesus is the descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? So in order to get the Messiah, like, you need perfect blood. So it's like you really like the blood can't be tainted with no curses, no nothing. Like, that blood needs to be like chef's kiss, flawless. So like you could see throughout the Bible when like Isaac and Jacob were picking out wives, God directed them like specifically, don't get a wife from the Canaanites. Like, whatever you do not have a wife from the Canaanites, because if they were to have kids with like Canaanites, then it's gonna ruin the bloodline and the Messiah would never be born. And this happened again. Like, it didn't happen, like God didn't instruct nobody, but there was a Canaanite. So like Jacob had 12 children, right? And one of them was Dinah. And so like a Canaanite like just raped Dinah and was like begging to marry her, and was like, "Oh, I want to be with her and whatever I need to do to be with her." But then like two of the sons of two of the sons of two of the sons of Jacob were like, oh heck no, and then they just like killed everybody. So I mean, it's not okay to be killing nobody. Like, don't be out here killing nobody. Maybe I should turn down my mic. Don't be out here killing nobody, you know? But God is like so crazy. Like, God allows evil to happen sometimes because it's not really evil. It just seems like evil in that moment, but it serves like a greater good purpose in the grand picture of things. But you can't really tell or see that because you're not God. None of us are God. We're all humans. So anyways, so then they did not allow Dinah to like be with the Canaanites, because then she would have had children with the Canaanites, and that could have been a disaster. Yeah, the Canaanites are wild, yo. And then even when I was thinking about like, even when you had Jacob and Esau, Esau, who was like less favored before the eyes of God, Esau took wives from the land of Canaan. So it's just so crazy how everybody from this bloodline just is either depraved, just does not get the favor of the Lord because they just are not right with God. And so it just kind of has me questioning, this just goes back to what I was talking about before, and like the power of the blood, and how we just need to be very wise about who we marry and have children with. Because those decisions, it might seem like not that big of a decision, but those decisions like can change the world completely. Just because of who was married to who in all of the Bible, all of that had to lead up just to Jesus alone. Like, you know how much orchestration that takes to bring a Messiah into the earth? That is a lot of orchestration. That's a lot of matchmaking. So God is matchmaking right now. So that's why you have to be like very vigilant and careful about who you are having children with and who you're laying with, because like, man, you do not want to have you don't want to bring no curses into your children. That's why I'm like, just because of intergenerational curses and everything that just happens in the spiritual, you really can't be having kids with just anybody. And you know what? I'm looking at the stream right now, and it's like glitching pretty bad. And I think it's just because like my Wi-Fi here is really bad. So I'm probably gonna have to get a new router if I'm gonna be streaming like this. Anyways, it's really just me talking to myself right now. Man, you wanna what? You're right, God. It's not me talking to myself. I'm talking to God right now. So anyways, it's just really crazy how God has just revealed to me how important it is, like, who you lay with, who you have kids with. And just like, I just got so much conviction from the Holy Spirit about fornication. Like, fornication will destroy your spirit. And like, I've been abstinent ever since I gave my life to Jesus. And not even because like it's like a religious thing. Like, it's not religion. It's literally like Romans says, the book of Romans, we're all sinners and fall short of the glory of God. And if I want God's glory to flow through me and work through me, like, I really have to sanctify my body. And like, I want to live in holiness, and I want to, like, if God is going to work through me, and if I'm going to be a vessel for God, I need to completely yield to God, And also, like, my body doesn't even belong to me. It belongs to God. So who am I to even say what I want to do with my body? That's why low-key, like my body, my choice, low-key doesn't make no sense. Because actually your body isn't yours. It's God's. And people are like, oh, I could do whatever I want. Actually, you can't, because you actually belong to God. And so that's why I just don't even fornicate anymore. Because I'm like, man, like, I can't be having people's, like, I can't let people's spirits mess with my spirit and have all these soul ties with people. No. I rebuke that. My only soul ties with Jesus. Anyway. So the Canaanites. The Canaanites were just so crazy. And I'm not even done with Genesis. But it's just like every single time something just goes awry in this book, it's always because a Canaanite just comes in and like rapes somebody, or like, why are they always raping people? Oh my goodness. It's insane. They're always raping people. It's bad out here. So yeah, I don't know. And then it makes me wonder, like, who, that bloodline is still around. And I'm like, there's probably like lots of people who are descendants of Canaanites, right? I mean, anybody could be. That's the kind of stuff 23andMe needs to be revealing. I don't care about my DNA. Tell me if I'm from the bloodline of Ham or Shem, okay? Come on. That's the knowledge I want to know. But you know what? I don't even have to go to a doctor for that, because I have God, and God gives me every single answer I need. It's so funny because people ask me questions and I'm like, well, why don't you ask God about it? Or people will like talk about me or something, and I'm like, why don't you ask God about me? I literally mean it. God gives you answers for every single one of your questions. It's just that people don't know how to listen. And I was once one of those people. I used to not know how to listen. But I'm learning. I'm learning obedience. You know, rebellion against God gets you nowhere. It gets you absolutely nowhere. It just gives you a whole bunch of heartache and regrets. Like, look. Let me think of something that's like rebellious against God. Okay, here we go. Here's an example. So we're all made in God's image, and God is the image of love. And so every single person's purpose on this earth is to love God, and it's really that simple. There's a fullness in your life that just is so foreign when you just allow God into your life. It's like the one thing I was looking for my entire life. Yeah, of course you're looking for your entire life because you were made by the guy. You know, you were looking for your heart's desire and you never found it because your heart desires God and God alone. So, like, because not everybody knows this or chases after this, you know, we have this whole thing. What am I going to be when I grow up? Oh, how am I going to be successful? Oh, I'm going to take a personality test so I know my career. So I know what I'm best suited for. I'm going to go to school for 8 years so I can figure out what to do with my life because I want to know my life's purpose. And it's like, I could have saved you all that trouble and given you the answer. Your answer is just to love God. That's it. It's so funny. And so because people don't know that, they go their whole lives chasing purpose. You know, just because of rebellion against God. They just don't want to face the fact that they were made to just love God and love others and help others and serve others and share and appreciate and worship. But they don't want to do that. So instead, they go to school and they do all these things, trying to find their life's purpose, all these kinds of things. And it just brings them nothing but suffering. And then they end up idolizing their job or idolizing, you know, a husband or a wife. And it's so bad. That's why I got some conviction about the show The Bachelorette, because I was saved by Christ, but I was still watching some secular TV, especially reality TV. Reality TV was really hard for me to let go. Because I used to watch so much of it. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll watch The Bachelorette. Like, that's cool, whatever. You know, I was like, there's no sin in this. Oh, is that you watching? Hey, Kayla. Because I was watching The Bachelorette. I was like, oh, there's no sin in watching TV. Ha 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 ha. So I was watching The Bachelorette and I was like, ooh, this is a little bit lustful. I was like, oh, geez. I'm eating pozole that brother Izzy got me because I don't eat enough. I don't eat enough food and I fast too much without eating enough. It's bad. It's bad. I used to have an addiction to food before I came to Jesus. So now I'm like, I feel so free of my food addiction that I don't think about food enough now. So anyway, so I was watching The Bachelorette and I was like, oh no, this is cool. I'm free of sin, blah, blah, blah. Oh man. Hey, does anybody know how to keep this camera on? Like, I don't know. Whatever. So, anyways. So I was watching The Bachelorette and I was just like, oh, okay, this is a little bit lustful. And like the girl, she kept on kissing people. I was like, girl, stop kissing everybody, girl. Oh my goodness. You're like kind of like, she was low-key embarrassing me. Because I was like, girl, the kissing is your leverage, girl. And she like literally kissed every single dude. And I was just like, man, that is just not how I play. Like, that is just not how I play the game. You are not allowed to, don't even grace my, you can't even shake my hand until you deserve it. And she was like kissing people. And I was just like, wow, like this is like, and it's just like all the bachelors just like wanted to kiss her all the time, like so bad. And so like the whole time I was just like, this is kind of like a very lustful way to start a relationship. So still against my better judgment, I like continued. I need to turn this down maybe. So still against my better judgment, I continued to watch the show. And then like on The Bachelorette, like they'll do like little like features of all these like people who used to be on the show or whatever, right? And so this like this couple from like another season of like Bachelorette in Paradise, and they have like a channel. Their names are like Jared and like Nicole or something. And I'm happy for them. They worked everything out and all this kinds of stuff. But just in like their relationship, like she like worships her spouse. It's like idolatry was the center of the relationship, because like their whole life was just about like getting a spouse. And then they ended up in this relationship, and then and now they like exalt their spouse over God, because there's no God in their relationship, so they have nothing else to look up to but each other. And so I was just like watching this, and I was just like, oh my goodness, The Bachelorette, like, it is like, it's not of God. Like The Bachelorette and The Bachelor is not of God, because it normalizes idolatry, where you just idolize your partner, and your whole goal in life is just to get a partner, instead of, in the Bible we're taught that a marriage should put God first, so that marriage isn't just about two people being together, but that marriage is a testimony of God and his kingdom, and how God's perfect design and perfect will came into a manifestation of a partnership, and that those people create life out of that partnership. And like a marriage in the Bible isn't meant to like just only advance you, but it's meant to further advance the kingdom, like to further exalt God, like to bring God more glory. That's what marriage brings God glory. And so when you're chasing marriage just to have a partner, have a spouse, even just to have kids, like, I'm at the point I don't even care if I don't have kids. I only want God's will, and if it's not God's will for me, I don't believe it's his will for me not to have kids, but I'm like, I've so just let go of the entire concept. Even the concept of getting married, like, and having a spouse, I've just completely let go of. Because I'm like, you know what? There are souls to save. There are greater matters at hand. Like, there are souls to save out here. Like, the harvest is, like, there's just so many souls to harvest. And and so yeah, so I've kind of been like freed of those kinds of thoughts. But yeah, that's what I learned from Genesis. The importance of your lineage, who you're sleeping with, and how that needs to be within a marriage, and how, you know, when you go into a marriage, you really have to have like full deliverance, fully be with Jesus, because you don't want any intergenerational curses plaguing your children. And you see that all in Genesis, like if you are from the bloodline of Canaan, like, you're already predisposed to tomfoolery. And I would know. I had a generational curse on me. And if I had kids before I came into Jesus, my kids would have been cursed too. And that's messed up. You know, I want my kids to have better than what I have. I want my kids to be born curse-free. They get their star from the heavens. Love God. Know his love for them. And all that stuff that I didn't have growing up. Anyways. So yeah. I'm done with my pozole, so this is pretty much the end of my video. Let me test out my I'm gonna test out a couple more of my thingies on here. Were they? I have like this little like Elgato Stream Deck. It's really cool. Look, it's really cool because it allows me to do all these effects, and so I can be like. I don't even know if y'all heard that correctly, but yeah. So I have all these effects and stuff, but I think that they are not working the best that they could. Oh man, so goofy. I love it. You know what? Goofiness factor, I feel, should always be high. Okay. Hey, okay. So yeah, this is my closing music. You know what's good. I'm feeling good. It's basically the weekend. It's the weekend for me. I have a lot of stuff to do. A lot of souls to save. But you know what? I'm just gonna use this time to just declare some blessings. Y'all, I don't know why I feel so good right now. Maybe just like talking about the Bible, talking about the gospel, it like gives you a high. Like, I know people who aren't in Jesus, they're like, what? How do people even have a good time without drinking? Right? They're like, oh, how do they even have a good time without drinking? That doesn't make any sense. But I guarantee nothing is a better high than the Holy Spirit. I'm telling you, that Holy Spirit high is like nothing else. It literally feels like I'm in heavenly places right now. Oh my goodness. And when you share the gospel, when you preach the gospel, when you just talk about what's in this book, especially when you talk about it with other people, like, you will start to just feel like you're walking on air, man. So anyways, if y'all like this, I'm probably gonna do this a lot, just because it's like easy. And I'm gonna get my room not looking like garbage. Oh no, actually it's not my room, it's my office. But it's gonna get clean in here and it's gonna start getting really cute. I hope y'all like my little wall mural and stuff. I'm very excited about it. You know, I'm a woman with a vision. And now I'm a woman with only one LED light. Okay. So that was good. And I love y'all. I just declare so many blessings over your life. And let's do this again soon or whatever. You know, I'm just here to chill. And I will catch y'all on the flip side. Bye, y'all.